Hey everyone, Brandon from Brandon's Baseball Cards here. I thought it would be useful to do a video that is kind of a beginner's guide to Rack Pack collecting. So just to give you a general idea of what you should look for, things you should consider if you're thinking of starting a Rack Pack collection of your own. And for starters, I guess the best place to start is, well, what type of Rack Packs should you collect? You know, if you want to get into baseball Rack Packs, which is really the focus of my collection, what separates a collectible Rack Pack from a junk Rack Pack? Well, generally speaking, the collectors of unopened material, especially when there are individual packs, collectors tend to try to get packs that have Hall of Famers or stars showing either on the top of the pack or on the bottom of the pack. So for example, this rack here, for example, this is a 1983 Donruss Rack Pack. This has Gary Carter on top and Tony Perez on top. Right? Sometimes there will be packs that have multiple Hall of Famers showing. This is a very desirable Rack Pack if you're a pack collector because there's multiple stars showing. Right, this is very different than a pack such as, not to pick on 87 Topps or anyone that likes 87 Topps, this is a 1987 Topps Rack Pack. This is junk wax. There is a Roger Clemens All-Star card on top, but generally speaking, there isn't much collectability in this product as much as an unopened item. Right, this is maybe worth $1 or $1.50. And this is worth probably $150 to put it in perspective. Not that the value is what matters, but you know, there are more valuable things to collect than others, right? It's like anything, any other part of the hobby. So look for packs that have Hall of Famers showing, and ideally, if you can afford it, try to stay away from packs that are junk wax era, unless of course that's your bag and that's what you want to collect, and that's fine. Everybody collects different things. I don't do much junk wax. So, you know, my advice is coming from that perspective. But look for racks with Hall of Famers on top or stars on top and multiples if you can, you know, such as the Gary Carter and Tony Perez rack. Sometimes they're, in addition to having stars on the front, it's kind of different with 1983 Donruss because you can't see the cards on the back because there's a puzzle piece. There's puzzle pieces. But when you can see the cards on the back, the other cool thing about Rack Pack collecting is it's not just the cards that are on the front. Sometimes there are key cards showing on the back. So for example, I have this 83 Topps Rack Pack. And you'll notice right away, there's a Tim Raines and a Carl Yastrzemski Super Veterans card on this 83 rack on the front. And on the back, and I've shown this in a recent video, so I apologize if this is redundant, but there's a Wade Boggs rookie right here in the header cell. It's a Wade Boggs rookie. So it's not just the cards that are on the front. The cards that are on the back of the pack also matter. So that's something to consider. The best packs, or sometimes the most collectible packs, if you will, not the best packs. What is best, that's completely subjective. Sometimes the most expensive packs are Rack Packs with a key rookie card showing on top. Right, generally speaking, the packs that have the star card showing on top are more desirable than a pack that has the star on the back. Right, and again, sometimes you get combinations. Right, this is one of the fun things about Rack Pack collecting. You know, this rack, for example, you know, 2 Hall of Famers on top and the Boggs rookie on the back. But if you're looking for, I would say, the premier stuff prior to the junk wax era, you want a Rack Pack with a key rookie on top. So something like this, right? This is an 83 Topps with a Tony Gwynn rookie on top that I recently acquired. Right, this is a very desirable pack. That's the most desirable rookie card, most would say, in the 83 set. Having it right on the front, this is a very nice collector's item. Right, and the reason, sometimes people ask, well, why do you even collect unopened? Why not just collect the cards? Well, because there are tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of Tony Gwynn rookie cards out there. Do you know how many actual Rack Packs with him on top there are? I would guess for every 1,000 Tony Gwynn rookies out there, there are maybe one Rack Pack with him on top. it's a much more challenging way to collect some of these cards from the 80s, right? I'm not even a big collector of individual cards from the 80s. I just collect packs from this era. There's nothing inherently challenging about putting together an 83 Topps set, a raw 83 Topps set. That could be done very easily. The challenge is trying to find packs like this that are in limited supply. So it's just a more challenging way to collect in this era. And that's really the reason why, in addition to the affordability factor, I can only afford really 81 through 85 is really my wheelhouse. You have to be realistic about your budget, but it's just a more challenging way to collect cards from this era. And sometimes you'll get them, sometimes you get some really, really crazy stuff. What makes Rack Pack collecting so much fun is when if you get Rack Packs that have 3 Hall of Famers on top, or if you get Rack Packs that have the same card showing on top. Sometimes you'll get that with crazy years, like 1984 Topps. I have a pack coming tomorrow, 1984 Topps, that has 2 Dave Winfields on top, the exact same card in different cells. Sometimes crazy stuff like that happens, just randomly, right? And sometimes you get a pack like this, where this is a 1985 Topps, where you not only have the Kirby Puckett on top, but you have a George Brett base, and you have the George Brett All-Star card on top. So 2 George Bretts and a Kirby Puckett rookie, right smack in the middle. That's as good as it gets. 3 Hall of Famers on top. So sometimes that does happen, but you'll notice that all of the packs I've shown you, other than the 1987 Topps, are wrapped by this company, Baseball Card Exchange. And this is the only company currently around that authenticates Rack Packs. And whenever you see a Rack Pack, if you're getting started on collecting, Rack Pack collecting, it's important to know that this means that Steve Hart has looked at this pack and has deemed it to be non-tampered with. So this is a legitimate, unopened 83 Topps Tony Gwynn pack, in the opinion of Steve Hart, right? And his opinion is the gold standard in most respects for unopened material. He's the authenticator. When you send packs to get graded by PSA, he's the person who authenticates the pack before PSA grades it. He's very trusted. And so my advice would be, if you're looking to start a collection, especially if you have money to spend, and there's a lot of money you can spend in this section of the hobby, my advice would be to make sure that if you're not buying packs that have already been authenticated, make sure that you are aware of Baseball Card Exchange and what their services are, and send in packs that you purchased to get authenticated so you can make sure you're not getting ripped off. Because there are fakes out there, and I've pointed out fakes on my channel. But you'll notice too that a lot of these packs, the three of the 4 that I've shown, they have these black strips in them. These are optional. You can get them at Baseball Card Exchange. You can get them added to your authentication order for $2 per Rack Pack. And it keeps the Rack Pack in place, it keeps it from moving around, and it also just kind of presents, it's like a tuxedo look, is what some people have called it. So you can get it like that, or if you don't specify that you want the black inserts added for a few extra dollars, what you will get is, like the first rack I showed, you'll get this in a standard Rack Pack top load. The same exact authentications, it means the same exact thing. It's been authenticated, you just don't have the black inserts. And I actually don't mind that this one doesn't have the black inserts. It looks fine to me without it. But sometimes if you don't get the black inserts, the Rack Pack will shift around in the mail, in the holder, and then you'll get it and it looks kind of funky. So I like to get the black inserts whenever I put an order in, but that's just a personal preference. I hope this has been at least a somewhat useful introduction to Rack Pack collecting. If you're a beginner, if you're interested in learning more about this, comment below any questions you have. If you're thinking about getting started, I'd love to chat with you. I hope you all have a great night. I'll be back with another video soon. Keep collecting vintage baseball.